everyone. Just got done working out and showering, and I have a super slam day, so I wanted to go live while I had the chance. Um, about something that, of course, like all my lives, I keep seeing a repeated pattern across the people that I work with and manage and talk to. So it might seem obvious, but everything does not work for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I know that that seems obvious, but for some reason, still somebody will get something, some strategy from a book or from a coach or from a guru or somebody and implement it, and it's not working to sell anything and they feel weird. So, for example, I was talking to somebody who did some sales training recently, and we were talking about our difference in sales strategies. And she was like, "Oh, I'm all about pain selling. I think it's very important to get to the pain." And I was like, "Yeah, it probably works really well for you, but there are some people who feel uncomfortable with that, right?" So for them, it would be something else that they would do, because if you feel uncomfortable, then your prospect feels uncomfortable, and that's not going to result in a sale. So it totally depends on your personality and your product and your audience. So for another example, I work with somebody who he works with anxiety clients, and actually two clients that work with anxiety clients, and they were both using that Sam Ovens script that's like really cold, that's like very silent and generic. Like, what are your goals in 12, like, what do you see your life looking like in 12 months if you solve this? What do you see it looking like in 12 months if you don't solve this? That whole thing. And then also like really digging into the pain, and then just saying the price and being totally quiet. So if you're talking to somebody with anxiety, like, that's a bad feeling. It just feels uncomfortable, and like the person doesn't care. Like, when you have anxiety, you want to feel like somebody really cares about you and has empathy and has been in your shoes and like, let's get you to the other side of this kind of thing. So I helped them with a custom script that closed like twice as much as they were closing before, even more than that, 3 times. And all it took was a little connection and empathy, some sharing the story of what they had experienced, and, letting them know that they're not crazy and they're not alone, and that this isn't a permanent life sentence type of thing. So I also work with people, an offer that is about making money online. So these people have mindset issues, right? They're coming in and they're wondering if they could be online entrepreneurs, and they're hoping that they could be online entrepreneurs. And so there's a lot of coaching through the fear with those people of actually making it possible. So you do need a little bit more direct of an approach, like calling them on their BS, basically. Like, if you don't do this, do you have an alternative plan? Because, it might seem safer to do nothing, but you'll be guaranteed to be in exactly the same spot if you do nothing. That's the only guarantee you have. So that's a little bit of a more direct approach. So it really depends on your audience and your offer, is what I'm saying, but then also your personality. So whenever I work with a client, we put together a custom script. It's the first thing we do, and it always makes a huge difference in their close rate, like immediately. And their sales and their revenue, and they can increase the price of whatever they're selling and just start making more. And the best part is that they feel comfortable. So whenever we're going through and creating it, I always ask them, like, would you feel comfortable saying this? Like, is this something that you would say? Is this something you would feel comfortable delivering? Do you feel good about? And if it's not, then we change it and we try different variations, because there's a lot of different ways to say the same thing, right? So there's a way to say, what are you going to do if you don't do this? And there's a way to say, I just really would hate to see you in the same position in 3 months. So it's saying the same thing, basically, talking to them about what's going to happen if they don't make a decision or move forward with some type of option. But one approach is a lot more empathetic and caring and a lot more relating. And one is like very direct, like you can't skirt around the subject. So it's so important to do what feels right for you. So if you're not working with a sales coach that can create a custom script, although I could do that with you. But if you're not going to do that, the way that you could do this for yourself is to look at what script you're using now and think about Or like think about what you're saying, even if you don't use a script, if you just use a framework, which I'm all about frameworks personally. There's no way that you could possibly predict every single direction that a conversation could go. At some point, it has to be customized and genuine to the person that you're talking to. But you can look at what you're saying and how your conversation goes and think about what felt good and what the prospect responded well to and what you felt comfortable delivering, and keep all of that, and then look at the stuff that felt weird or that usually gets a weird response from the prospect and remove all of that. And also look at what questions give you information that's actually helpful for you. So, a lot of times this is the questions are very similar to what you would ask if they were already your client, because you're trying to understand them. You're not trying to sell them. So if they were already your client, you'd be trying to understand what's going on so that you could offer a solution. But instead, you would just say, this is absolutely something we can help with. You wouldn't give the solution like you would if they were your client. So a lot of people ask these like random, pointless questions that are designed to give you information to sell them, which are really transparent and manipulative. Like, where are you going to be in 12 months if you do this? And how are you going to feel? And how are you going to feel if you don't do it? Well, obviously, I'm going to feel like shit. Like, no surprise there. You already knew the answer to that. So I understand that there's some benefit to getting the person admitted to themselves, but in my experience, it's just better to have a transparent, genuine conversation about where they are, where they're trying to go, and if you can help them. So anyway, don't beat up on yourself if what you're doing isn't, what someone else is doing doesn't seem to be working for you, because everything doesn't work for everyone. Think about your audience, think about your offer, and consider your own personality and what makes you feel comfortable. And that's when you will sell the most. Okay, I have to go. I have something at 9 o'clock. So anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful week, and I will talk to you later.